So today's video is all about my first experience with White Mountain. So at last I got around to doing this puzzle and I will share with you my thoughts about the brand. So because of a human error on my side, I have lost all the audio for the video I took during the time I assembled this puzzle, including my initial thoughts for unboxing this box. And so I will just do my utmost best to afterwards tell you what I intend to say while I was recording this footage. So I began to opening the box and tell you that this is a White Mountain puzzle. It's called License Plates by Charlie Girard. I also said that the box size is quite nice. It's not too big, it's not too small, and there is enough of the image visible. There's not too much that is obstructing the image. So even without a poster, which I don't think is included, the writing and the puzzle piece there in the box, on the box, does not obstruct too much of what I need to see to be able to complete this image. The back of the box is blank and there was definitely no poster included. I can't confirm if the new ones come with a poster or not, as this was a second-hand one. Also, because of a second-hand puzzle, this one was in a Ziploc bag. Piece quality was, on first glance, very nice. I was impressed. It was quite thick. There was a variety in sizes for the pieces. Some are much bigger than others, some are quite small compared to standard size images. Print on the puzzle looked to me quite true to what's on the image on the box. So I also said that I will start by taking out the edge pieces and then I will flip the balance of the pieces. And this is the type of image that I can do as a pick and place method. So I am going to start with the edge, flip the balance of the pieces and assemble whatever I can and place them more or less where I think they will go in the image. I also noted because of the bigger piece size, the puzzle would probably be bigger than the standard 1000 piece puzzles. And as I look at the size of the 1000 piece of this White Mountain compared to a 1500 piece by, for instance, RGS, this one is slightly smaller than a 1500 piece puzzle, and I think relatively bigger than a standard 1000 piece puzzle. So the size of the pieces would definitely influence the finished size of the puzzle. I can't remember if I said more than that at this stage, so if there was more, I'm so sorry. So at this stage, I was more or less 2 hours in. It was easy enough to distinguish between the number plates, and each number plate consists of anything between 10 and 15 pieces. So it was easy enough, even if, like for instance, the white and black number plates, I was able to put them together and because of the different numbers on them, establish more or less where they would go. And it was up until here, I enjoyed the process. It was a fun puzzle to start with. And I've got so much contact clues to work off from at this stage. So, more than enough to work off from at this point. this point, I was more or less 3 hours in, and I was able to connect the left side of the puzzle here at the bottom all the way through, connect, and again connect it to the right hand side border. I'm very happy with my progress up until here. There's a lot connected almost to the top, so I need a bit of pieces there, either on the right hand side or the left, to be able to connect it to the top as well. So this should be fun. Let's see how fast till I get to that point. So this is more or less 4 hours in, and everything is connected to something, and I only got a bunch of empty spaces that I need to fill out. And it was a blast up until here. Everything is different enough to be able to determine where to go, but the balance of the pieces that remains now more or less all look the same. It's either shades of pink or blue. So I think I might slow down a bit from here on out, but I think it will still be enjoyable. So in a nutshell, I loved the bigger pieces. I'm used to like Castorland, for instance, where there is smaller pieces, and the bigger the piece count, the smaller the cut. And I appreciate that of the bigger piece count puzzles, but I quite enjoyed the larger pieces. That was a nice surprise, and I definitely will do another one just because of the size of the pieces. Nice sturdy thickness. I quite enjoyed that. It's above average, I would say. It is kind of on the thick side. Then there's a slight gloss on the images, on the pieces. Not as much to take away from the enjoyment. I quite enjoyed the finish of the puzzle, regardless of the bit of shine. So personally, I love a matte finish. This one did not take away from the enjoyment. So that bit of a gloss, no problem at all. And the cut is perfect. I didn't get a single false fit, although the image is of such nature that it would have surprised me if there was false fits, because there was such distinct sections, and every number plate made up of maybe 10 to 15 pieces. So I would have been surprised if there was false fits, but as far as I got with this one, zero false fits at all. So every piece was unique enough that that wasn't a problem. It is not the standard grid cut, it's more of a ribbon cut, which I personally love. I've got no problem with grid cut, standard cut, random cut. That's not something that bothers me at all. This was the the ribbon cut, and I enjoyed it. It's something different than the usual standard grid cut puzzles. And also related to the cut, I was able to move sections of 3 to 5 pieces. Once it got bigger than that, I had a bit more of a struggle to move sections that I assembled. But all in all, after assembling, it is kind of steady. So I think this might actually pass the pickup test. So loose enough that you can't move big sections, but tight enough that you can move small sections, and I assume it will pass the pickup test. And the image quality was perfect. It's as it is on the box, no problem there. So all in all, this is definitely a brand I would love to do more of if I can get my hands on more. I'm in South Africa. This is a American brand. So this one was imported by somebody, and I was lucky enough to be able to buy it from her. So I guess if I will get another, it will be in a similar situation where somebody imports it and sells it after they assemble it. And then the question is, will I be lucky enough to be first in queue to to get my hands on them. But yeah, I will definitely, if I can, assemble another one of these. I love the brand all in all, no problems at all. So that is it for today's video. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.